Hi everybody, Ben Holloway here from Wrens. Today I'm going to talk about internet interviews, some of the do's and don'ts. Some of the things I'll cover off include the location, the lighting, the camera angle, the background, the software options, what to wear, and how to get the best out of your internet connection. So first of all, the location. Whilst that might seem fairly obvious, I regularly interview people who are sat in their cars or out walking or in the cafe. You should aim to be in a quiet place with little to no distractions. So avoid interviewing in a busy cafe, on a train, whilst at a farm. If you have a neighbour doing this, then consider somewhere else. Using natural light can be a challenge as you're dependent on the weather. Use fake light to create the best look. This could be a bedside lamp shining on you, or simply just by sitting below downlights in your house. The camera angle is really important. You want to make sure they're not just interviewing your forehead or your shoulder, that they can see all of you. Make sure the camera is level with your eyes, and when you're talking, try talking to the actual camera as opposed to the screen. This will give the impression of eye contact for the person that's interviewing you. This can be quite hard to do, so maybe try putting a post-it sticker next to the camera to grab your attention. You should aim for a plain white background with little to no distractions. You want your interviewer to be engaged with you and not focused on something in the background. This sometimes can be a challenge when at home. Make some effort to clear the things behind you, even if it does pile up in front of you. Most of the time you won't be choosing the software for your interview, but it's important to make sure you are familiar with the software and that you have it available for the interview. Some of the options that are available for interviews are things like Zoom, Skype, Google Meets, Microsoft Teams. Make sure that you have these installed pre-interview and that you've tested them with friends and family. Some softwares like Zoom will allow you to put a fake background in, which can cover everything behind you. These in theory are good, but be careful as quite often they're clunky and distort the image of you. As mentioned before, you want the interviewer concentrating on you and what you're saying rather than an arm that's disappearing. If you decide to use this option, pick suitable backgrounds, nothing offensive or controversial, and preferably plain so that it doesn't distract your interviewer. Make sure you wear whatever you would normally wear to a face-to-face interview. Whilst this might be over the internet and feel a little bit more casual, you still need to dress to impress. So if you're in a corporate interview, wear a suit. One of the biggest hurdles when it comes to internet interviews is usually technology or connection issues. Make sure that flatmates or family members know you have an important interview and get them to switch to cell phone network rather than using the Wi-Fi so that you can get the best bandwidth. Other things you can do are things like sitting next to your modem or even plug directly into the modem to get the best connection. If you typically have a slow connection at home, maybe consider going to a friend or family's house that has fibre. As mentioned before, make sure your family and flatmates are aware that you're having an interview and that they don't interrupt you. Keep pets locked outside or in another room. Whilst they might be cute, they are distracting. Always make sure that the interview has finished and that the interviewer has left before you say or do anything that you wouldn't want them to hear or see. If you'd like any additional advice when it comes to doing an interview through the internet, feel free to get in touch on the details below. We're always happy to help.